To Let's Learn Geography channel. I am Shayantoni, and today I am looking into and I will discuss the motion of the earth, that is part of your Ncert class 6 geography chapter 3. And previous class I have discussed about class 6 geography chapter 2, that is globe latitude and longitude. I already had uploaded chapter 1 and chapter 2 video with the details explanations. If you have not watched this video, please go and watch this. Let's start today's lecture, that is motion of the earth. What is rotations and revolutions? We should know about rotation and revolution first, because the earth has two type of motions, namely that is the rotation, another is revolutions. Rotation is when the movement of the earth on its axis is called the rotations, and revolution when earth around the sun with a fixed path is called revolutions. So understood what is rotation and revolution? When earth revolves at its own axis, that is called the rotations, and revolution when earth revolves around the sun, that is called the revolution. Next is, what is orbital plane? We know that earth is not fixed, not perpendicular at its axis. It always tilted 66.5 degree, and there is an imaginary line, and the plane by the orbit is known as the orbital plane. The axis of the earth, which is an imaginary line that makes an angle 66.5, and the plane that formed by the orbit is called the orbital plane. In my first class, I already have discussed about the earth shape, and we know that the earth is not in the circled shape, it is the spherical in shape, and the portion facing, that's why earth moves west to east direction. That's why the portion facing the sun experience the day, and the portion that away from the sun, that experience night. And the circle that divide the day and night in equally half, this circle is called the illuminations. If you see this picture, these portions is experience the day because of they faces the sun, and the dark portion is experience the night due to they away from the sun. And the circle of illumination is this portion that divided our earth is into two equal half. This cycle is called the circle of illuminations. What would be happen if the earth did not rotate? If earth did not rotate, then what would be happen? The portion of the earth facing the sun would be always experience the day. If earth did not rotate, then we couldn't able to experience the day or night in a day. In 24 hours, earth takes 24 hours to complete one rotations on its own axis. Then we would not able to experience within 24 hours day and night. Always sun experience the portion which faces towards the sun, that experience day all over the day, and this brightening continuous warm the region. The other half would remain dark or remain freezing cold in all time, and life would not have been possible. Such extreme second motion of the earth around the sun is its orbit is called the revolutions, and it takes 365 days 6 hours, but we consider a year for 365 days. For the sake of convenience, we ignore the 6 hours. Then the Indian astronomer Aryabhatta had stated that earth is round and rotates its own axis. 6 hours saved every hour and added to make one day 24 hours over a span of 4 years. After 4 years, this surplus one day is added to the month of February, and the February is 20 days instead of 28 days. Such year is called the leap year, and that year the number of days is 366 days. So what is leap year then? This extra 6 years that added every year, and after 4 years the surplus hour that makes 24 hours and or 1 day added with the month of February, and that year is leap year, and the number of days the earth takes to revolve is 366 days. Our year is usually divided into summer, winter, spring, autumn season. Seasonal change due to the change of the position of the earth around the sun. When earth revolves around the sun, the season is also changes. That's why usually a year we experience the 4 seasons, that is summer, winter, spring and autumn. Next, we will understand the 4 concepts: the summer solstice, winter solstice, vernal equinox, and vernal equinox. Northern Hemisphere, on the 21st June, Northern Hemisphere is tilted towards sun. The ray of sun fall directly on the Tropic of Cancer. As a result, this area receive more heat, and the area near the pole receive the less heat as the ray of the sun are slanting. The North Pole is inclined toward the sun. The place beyond the Arctic Circle experience the continuous daylight for the 6 months. Since the large portion of the Northern Hemisphere is getting the light from the sun, and it is the summer of region, the north of the equator, the longest day and the shortest night that take place on the 21st January. At this time, the southern hemisphere, all the conditions are reversed, that the sun ray of the sun fall directly on the Tropic of Cancer. They are away from the Tropic of Cancer in the southern hemisphere, and the position of the earth is called the summer solstice. If you see this picture, you will be able to understand this is the summer solstice and the winter solstice. In the 21st June, the larger day and the shorter night take place in the northern hemisphere, and the reverse condition happened in the southern hemisphere. So what happened in 21st June, or what is summer solstice? On 21st June in the northern hemisphere of the Tropic of Cancer, the ray of the sun fall directly on the Tropic of Cancer. That time this portion is nearer of the sun, nearer to sun. That's why this area getting the more heat than southern hemisphere. That's why on 21st of June, the larger day and the shorter night take place in northern hemisphere, and the completely reverse condition occur with the southern hemisphere. This is called the summer solstice. On the similar way, on the 22nd December, the Tropic of Capricorn received the direct ray of the sun at the south pole. And because the sun fall directly on the Tropic of Capricorn and the south pole tilt towards it, the sun ray fall vertically on the Tropic of Cancer, that is 23.5 degrees south. A large portion of southern hemisphere gets light. As similar way, 21st June, the northern hemisphere gets light. Therefore, it is summer in the southern hemisphere. Larger or the longer day and the shorter night occur in southern hemisphere, and this portion is called the winter solstice. On 21st March and 23rd September, directly sun fall on the equator, and that position neither poles tilted toward the sun. So the whole earth experience equal day and equal night. This is called the equinox. On 21st and the 23rd of September, our Earth experiences, the whole world experiences the equal day or equal night. On 23rd of September, it is autumn season in the northern hemisphere and spring season in the southern hemisphere. And the opposite case on 21st March, when it is spring in northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere is autumn. That is all about the chapter. If you like this video, please press the like button, and more video is coming soon. Stay tuned, stay happy, stay kind, stay positive, and stay tuned. Thank you.